So the story of kind of how we found him is really interesting, actually. One of our clients had she said, oh, there's a kitten that I found in my outside of my car, and now he's stuck in my inside my car. And of course, you know, I have no idea what's going on, and I'm just trying to get her in so that she can get her appointment. And so I just told her, come on in and we can figure it out for you. So I was the one who happened to kind of help her. She had called the fire and rescue, and they're not getting along. So they called fire and rescue, and they came trying to save him, and for the life of them, they could not get to him. So what had happened is that he got scared, he bit her, and he went underneath her the glove compartment inside and got stuck onto that side panel, kind of next to the door but behind, and he was not coming out. They tried really hard to kind of maneuver in and try to get him out, and he was not budging. So instead of wasting more time, they decided to, there's nothing that we could do, just leave some food out for him, and he'll come out. So that's exactly what we tried to do. We left a little bit of food and decided to just kind of wait. Well, an hour later, we kind of checked to see if he's out. Nothing. So now we're thinking, well, what's going on that he's kind of not really coming out? Because he has to be hungry. Mind you, when we haven't seen the kitten yet. We didn't know how big he was, how little, what his deal was. And so they're searching and searching, and what they found was that he is now stuck. So he got stuck in this little kind of cylinder, and he was upside down pretty much, and he got caught by his neck pretty much. He could not move, and we could not get in to pretty much save him. And while this is going on, she's getting her hair done, and all of my coworkers are freaking out because he's starting to get dehydrated. Now he's breathing heavily and he's starting to get dehydrated. It's almost like 2 hours now that he's been stuck. It's a super hot day. There's barely any breeze. We're starting to get worried. So we, at that point, we're not quite sure what are we gonna do if we do not get this cat out, because fire and rescue couldn't really help us, and we were just starting to get worried. So another like half an hour goes by, and one of my coworkers just kind of helps to really stick something in there to push him out, and my coworker stuck her hand in there and yanked him out. And we could not believe that this little thing, he was probably 8 weeks old and this big. He was so tiny, and he was just petrified practically. It was just like the saddest thing in the world to see this little baby kitten just, having to go through all that ordeal. So thankfully we, saved him, and he was absolutely adorable. But at that time, I didn't even think about, kind of keeping him, because, for me, we already have a cat she's 16, so she's really elderly, I guess you could say. And so we were not planning on having a cat at all. So it didn't even cross my mind at the time. We've rescued several kittens actually around that salon, and a lot of our either clients or coworkers will take them. So at this point I figured, somebody's gonna take him, everything will be fine. So one of my coworkers says, look, I have a vet who normally takes them in. I can go and, sorry, my lips are so chapped. Best thing out there. So we put him in a little box, gave him a little bit of food and water, and just kind of let him be. So the person who said that, they could find him a home, took him home, and we didn't think anything of it. So the next couple of days come by, and then she brings him back, saying how nobody could kind of get him, and that he was just, you know, that he didn't have a home. At that point, I still, you know, it didn't really cross my mind to take him, but once I saw him in that little box, and he was so petrified and, you know, just really afraid, and he just looked, I don't know, like he just, you know, he was still in the same box, like nobody was taking care of him, and I just couldn't do it. I was not going to let this little kitten out of my sight again. So the second that she brought him back, he was still in that little box, and you know, he was, you know, trying to escape, and I was like, you know what, no, that's it, I'm taking him home. And I called my now fiance to bring my cat carrier, that we're taking this kitten home, and that was it. I was not going to take no for an answer. And so he's been with us ever since. My parents, I still live with my parents, and so they were not really happy that I kind of just decided to take a cat without asking first, and I completely understand. And they were pretty adamant about me not keeping him, it was not going to happen. You know, it was nice and all. We can have him here for a little bit, and then he has to find a home. And my answer was, this is his home. So that was that. I kind of was just, you know, taken by him. I wasn't going to let him out of my sight. I knew I was going to be able to take care of him, so that was that. And that is how we adopted our cat. So he is very healthy now. He didn't have any fleas or anything like that, and no worms or anything. He was very healthy. He was the tiniest little kitten, and I'll probably add a couple pictures so you can kind of see how he's grown, because he's grown so much since we first got him. We've taken him to the vet and everything, and he's healthy, and we're going to get him neutered in a couple of weeks, so we're very excited about that. And you know, and so my cat hasn't really accepted him, to say the least. Most people say that, you know, after a while, you know, they get over it and they'll start liking each other, and it just hasn't happened. She is just so much older than him, and he is so rambunctious, and he wants to play and just kind of love on her, and she just wants to be left alone. She wants nothing to do with him, and he wants everything to do with her. So it's been a pretty interesting kind of transition. You know, going from having such an elderly cat to such a young cat, you know, we've been really learning. The first kind of couple months, he stayed with me in my room, and he was a terror. Almost like every night he would attack me, just because I'm sure he was just really frightened. But now he's calmed down so much that he loves to sleep with me. You know, he used to cuddle right here on my neck and just kind of lay there, and now he'll sleep next to my pillow. He is just the most adorable kitten, and that, you know, we couldn't have been luckier to have him. So we're very excited, and you know, could not believe that this is where we are right now. So let's go on to engagements. So my boyfriend and I have been, well, fiance now, but we've been together for 4 years. We met each other we worked together at the zoo, the local zoo here in Miami, and just love at first sight. Yeah, pretty much I just have always admired him and his work ethic, and I think that was one of the first things that really attracted me to him. Just gonna contour just a little bit before I do anything else. Because I'm someone who, you know, takes a lot of pride in what I do, regardless of what it is. And so when I met him and I saw how amazing he was, I, definitely was attracted to that. At the time though, he was definitely in a relationship and I was definitely single. And we kind of, were talking, but I wasn't really going to do much until he kind of was single. And it took a while. He definitely was not, he just wasn't going to up and leave, like that, even though he, like that, even though he wasn't happy. But once he decided to kind of make a life change, that's when we really started being together. We were together ever since. I mean, the second that he asked me to be his girlfriend, and that was it. We've just have been together, and it's been, the most amazing 4 years of my life. And just to have him in my life has been more than enough. And we've definitely struggled, I would say mostly financially, and it's definitely taught us some really good lessons. Life has been, difficult these past 4 years. We've been through losses. We've, had to struggle financially. And, we kind of have always stuck it together. I'm going to get emotional. It's so silly. Just very lucky. Anyway, I can't cry because I have my makeup on. Just very lucky that I found him. So, anyway, I'll stop. And I don't have any concealer, so I'll be back. Okay, I love these two together, so I can't kind of live without it. Anyway, so I just feel very, very lucky. And so, we've always talked about marriage. It's definitely something that we both feel is important to us. And, so it's definitely definitely crossed my mind. This is such an awkward angle, by the way. It's for me to look at myself. But, I know it looks like a lot, but whatever. I have a long day. So, I definitely knew it was something that was going to happen. I just definitely did not think it was going to happen anytime soon. At all. I just thought that we were going to have to really save and wait, pretty much. That's what I was under the impression of. And he, however, had been planning it for, quite a bit, and he recently got a promotion, and that is kind of when he decided it was a good time. And to be honest, when he first got the promotion, it definitely crossed my mind, but knowing how much we kind of how much we have to pay off and everything, I just assumed that he wasn't really, it wasn't a thought in his mind just yet. And I was okay with that. I was okay with waiting because, I definitely knew what I wanted. I definitely wasn't going to settle. Just like I didn't really settle, when it came to dating. I don't settle. So I just assumed that we were going to wait. So this past July 4th weekend, we spent it together. We spent it, he stayed over with me and my family's house, which was very sweet of my family. And, unbeknownst to me, he had already asked them, which means a lot to me that he would kind of go through, because that's very nerve-wracking, I can only imagine, and ask kind of for their permission. So he asked, I think about a week before this, before he stayed over with us. And here I am thinking it's just another day. So over the weekend, we had a wonderful weekend. We went to the, so on July 4th he's thinking about when to kind of do this, and he wanted to kind of go to Fairchild because I love love Fairchild. It's one of my favorite places. I kind of grew up there practically. My father used to put supply the plants for Fairchild, so we went almost every weekend, and I love nature. So he thought about doing it there, so he asked me if I wanted to go to Fairchild, and I was like, no, I'm all right. I don't feel like going. It was just way too hot. It's been a very hot summer here in Florida, so I was not down to be outside. And but little did I know, I had no idea. So he goes, so he's, okay, what about we have a new museum that opened up, do you want to go there? I'm like, okay, perfect. So we went to the Frost Museum, which has a planetarium. It's very, it's kind of like indoor-outdoor museum, and it shows kind of all of the wildlife that we have here in Florida, and things like that. And I, was completely fine going there. And so we spent the day doing that. It was a beautiful day. It rained a little bit, but it kept the day cool. And so after we came home, we decided we were cooking burgers, my favorite food. I could eat burgers all day long. So after we were making burgers, I decided to make dessert. So I am obsessed with Nigella. Nigella Lawson, if you don't know, is a British cook. She does not refer herself to a chef, as a chef, I mean. And she is amazing. Literally everything we make from her, it is perfection. And I mean, it just tastes so good. I first found her just because I had an obsession when I was younger with buying cookbooks. I just like to read them. And I loved the way that it's a lot, but set. I just loved the way that she wrote. It just made everything sound so interesting, and it was easy to follow. And so I never cooked from her. At that time, I just read it. So when I first started dating Jason, I decided for some reason to start cooking, and she was the one that I first started with, and everything I've made from her has been delicious. So there is one thing that she has, one recipe is called a chocolate pavlova. It essentially is this meringue base, that you with egg whites, you put sugar, you add the chocolate, she adds balsamic vinegar to kind of help it stay chewy, and then you bake it. Well, the first time I've ever made that, it came out like perfection. It looked exactly like the picture, and that rarely ever happens, especially with home cooking. You rarely make it look like how it looks in pictures. Every time we've made it since then, it has been disaster. I don't know what it is, and I've tried all the tricks in the book, making sure that your pan is free of oil, making sure that, it's a cool environment, making sure your egg whites are not, flat or old, and nothing has helped. Everything that we've done has literally made it look the flattest, nastiest kind of thing. Of course, it still tastes good. It is, chocolate essentially, and it's sugar. You can't really go wrong with that. It's still cooked. So this time I decided, we're gonna try it again. It's going to happen, we're gonna make it happen. So we're making it, and it was disastrous. The egg whites wouldn't even fluff up. It was just terrible. Oh, it was absolute terror. And so I literally threw that batch away, and I made it again, and it was just as bad. And I was like, forget about it. I don't want to make dessert. I hate everything. And of course, Jason decided on this day that he was going to propose, and he's like, oh my God, she's going to be so upset. She's not even going to care that I'm doing this. And we had such a perfect day, and now this damn pavlova is going to ruin it. And So I'm super upset about this stupid pavlova and how it will not come out good. So I'm like, whatever, let's just eat. So we're eating dinner, and the whole time I'm thinking we're gonna watch The Patriot, because he's never seen it. I know, it's ridiculous. Anyway, so I'm thinking, all right, we're gonna eat and then we're gonna watch The Patriot. Perfect. So then we sit down and we're eating, having a great time at the table. And I'm like, okay, now let's go watch the movie. And they're like, no, let's do fireworks. I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't care anymore because my pavlova is not working. So we're gonna do fireworks, and we just bought the little, like the little $30 pack that from Publix, where it comes with a bunch of different things. The little poppers and all of that. So we're kind of blowing those off, and we're having fun. And he asks me to blow one with him, and I'm like, no, it's fine. Go ahead, you can do it. And he's like, no, let's do this one together. And I'm like, no, really, it's fine. Like, you can go ahead and do it. I just didn't know. I'm so oblivious sometimes. And so he's like, no, let's do this together. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Let's take this, let's set this one off together. Because you're so adamant about it. So we're going, and he's bending down. He's lighting it, and then he's like, you know what? Before I do this, and so all of a sudden there's some lights flashing on me, and my mom's reporting, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, what? It's just a firework. And he's like, it's been such a beautiful day. I cannot wait to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you marry me? And I'm like, is this for real? And there he is with this beautiful, gorgeous ring, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is for real. And I cried, of course, and it was perfection. It was literally the most amazing thing. My parents were there, and it was just very simple. It was outside, we were having fun, and it was literally the essence of who we are. And I don't think he could have done it any more perfect. I literally have chills. I don't know if you can tell, but I do. So that was my July 4th weekend, and that is how this happened. I cannot believe it. So he did an amazing job, got me exactly what I wanted, and I just feel like the luckiest girl in the world. And so that was my engagement story. And so ever since then, I've been trying to plan a wedding. And if anyone who has planned a wedding before knows, it's not easy. And I definitely am trying to keep it simple. I don't want to go crazy, but I'm definitely excited to kind of start this journey together. We're still in the very beginning of planning and all of that. Gotta put my highlight on. But so the first thing I did, actually, as I called my best friend, because I just had to. She has had a feeling that one of us were going to get engaged since November of last year. And I'm like, it's definitely not me, just because I thought we were gonna have to wait. So when it happened, I definitely had to give her a call to let her know that you were right. She knew. She didn't know it was actually going to happen, but she definitely had a feeling that it was going to happen soon. And so when I called her and we cried together, it was just a very beautiful moment. And so since then, I've been trying to figure out how many people and where can we do it. And Miami is very expensive, so we're kind of keeping our options open and just really thinking about what it is that we want. I definitely will have to say, for anyone who is looking, I love Minton. That is where I got my first business cards, and they just put so much detail into their into everything that they give you, that I definitely think that they are something to consider. Yes, they are expensive, but especially when you order that package for free, you get a discount, which you can't never say no to a discount. So they kind of give you everything. They give you samples of things that they offer. They let you feel the card stuff. You can even get 10 free samples of, let me show you, of your actual designs for free, and you get to see how they look, how you can, you know, word everything, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Just the time and effort that they put into everything, it just makes it look so luxurious without really having to spend too much. So I definitely am gonna order my cards from there, 100%. So I definitely would let anyone who is engaged know that if you are, you know, just kind of starting out, definitely welcome your family members' advice. I mean, they probably have been through it before, and yes, it might have been 30 years ago, but their advice is still, you know, invaluable. I feel that at the end of the day, yes, this is about you and your fiance, and nothing can really take away from that. But kind of hearing other people's advice of how to cut corners, or, you know, what's important, what's not, you know, will really help put things into perspective. Because at the end of the day, this is only one day. I feel brides today can kind of get a little over the top. You know, we're trying to keep our wedding pretty small and pretty low budget, and you know, where I've been told that it's never going to happen for the amount of money we want to spend, but I kind of see that as a challenge. I'm going to make it happen. So at the end of the day, this is about you and your fiance. I feel like that's been the best advice that I've gotten. Just focus on each other. Everything else will kind of fall in place. Just kind of make sure you guys are enjoying this time. Like, we will probably be engaged for quite a while, and I'm really okay with that. I'm really excited to really start this chapter of our lives together. And I just know that it's going to, you know, it's going to be for the best. Whatever time we have to take is what we'll take, and you know, like, it will happen, and we're not going to go into debt because of this. And you know, it will still be the best party that we can ever give, but we're not going to break the bank just to have it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I definitely feel excited that, you know, that we're starting this chapter of our lives, and I'm definitely going to, you know, definitely being a little more wedding oriented here on this channel, and just really excited for our next chapter. I am also going back to school. A lot of things have changed, and hold on, talk during this. That's normally how I put on my lipstick. I know it's not perfect, but when you're in a rush and you just want to get out the door, it doesn't have to be perfect. This is going to come off in the next 3 hours anyway. Might as well just rub it on. I am going back to school, which I'm very excited about that. It was something that I decided to do after talking to my fiance's boss. She really encouraged me to kind of go back to school and really try and finish it, because at the end of the day, you're really not going to move forward until you get that education, because most entry-level positions nowadays require it. And at the end of the day, it is just I was only 2 years away, and so might as well. Like, what am I waiting for? There is no point in waiting any longer, because I was 2 years away from it. Might as well just get it done and get it out of the way and kind of have this piece of paper. So I'm definitely excited to start that. I go to orientation today, and I'm going to finish within the next 2 years. So I'm very, very excited about it. I'm just ready to start this new chapter. I feel that life has been very difficult up to now, and for that I am thankful, because I don't think I would be able to appreciate all that I have if it wasn't hard. I feel that, you know, life will only become more difficult as the years go by. And I am very lucky to have the kind of support system that I have here with me. And, you know, I'm really excited to kind of share my life with this one person and kind of, you know, start our family. This is the first step. So I'm over the moon and just really, really happy. And I really want to bring more of that happiness to the world. I feel that this is kind of what we need. So thank you for kind of sitting with me and kind of hearing everything that's going on. If you have any more questions, I'll kind of put down the link below for this minted little package, because it was really helpful for me to really kind of get a feel for minted and everything like that. I will definitely add any more inspirations that I find. I'll put my little Pinterest link below and you can see what I've been loving. And I would love to hear more of your stories of how you're doing with your bridal journey. So I'm really excited to kind of take you guys along with me, and I look forward to any comments that you guys have. And this is my day-to-day look, minus probably the eyeshadow. I don't do that much. But this is something that I put on when I'm just going to work and I need to look put together, but I don't really want to spend a lot of time. So that's my kind of thing. It takes me a little bit less than it does now, but yeah, so that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Let me get Charlie for you. Where's my baby? Baby! So Charlie and I say goodbye. Bye. You're so cute.